At dawn, on the fields of Bannockburn, the air hung heavy with mist and dread. Then as steel met steel, the banners rose against the grey Scottish sky. Robert the Bruce's outnumbered army stood like a wall of defiance, ready to turn a desperate struggle into a victory that would echo through history. This is the story of the Battle of Bannockburn. The lead up to Bannockburn developed around Stirling Castle, one of the most strategically important strongholds in Scotland. The castle was held by an English garrison under Sir Philip Mowbray, but had been under siege by Bruce's brother Edward Bruce. Mowbray and Bruce agreed that if the castle were not relieved by the 24th of June 1314, he would surrender it to the Scots. This agreement forced Edward II to march north. On the 23rd of June 1314, the English advance began to press into the constricted approaches near the Scottish position. One of the most famous episodes of the battle took place that day. Robert the Bruce, mounted on a small palfrey and carrying an axe, was confronted by the English knight Sir Henry de Bohun, who charged him with a lance. Bruce is said to have waited until the last moment, sidestepped the attack and split de Bohun's head with the axe. An English force attempted to reach Stirling Castle. Randolph's schiltron division intercepted them and fought a hard action in which the schiltron held firm against cavalry pressure. Randolph's men managed to maintain cohesion and repulse the English. This fighting demonstrated that the Scots could withstand mounted attack if they held discipline and formation. After failing to break through, the English camped in disorder, while the Scots were encouraged by their success and by the sense that the army could be beaten. The main battle came on the 24th of June. The Scots knelt briefly in prayer before moving forward, a sight that reportedly caused Edward II to ask whether they were seeking mercy. As the Scots advanced, their schiltrons pressed into the cramped English front. The English heavy cavalry, one of the Crown's greatest military assets, could not manoeuvre effectively in the broken and confined terrain. Mounted men found it difficult to build momentum for a charge, and horses were hindered by pits, soft ground and the dense hedge of Scottish spears. The English infantry crowded behind and among the cavalry and struggled to deploy properly. The result was confusion rather than coordinated assault. A Scottish cavalry force under Sir Robert Keith, the Marshal of the Scottish Army, attacked and dispersed the English archers before they could have a major impact on the battle. The English line began to collapse under pressure. The front ranks were compressed backwards and many men were forced into the Bannockburn or into marshy ground where movement became even more difficult. Panic spread. Once a medieval army lost cohesion in close conditions, defeat could become catastrophic very quickly. The Scots kept advancing, maintaining pressure rather than allowing the English space to recover. Scottish victory was overwhelming, though it did not immediately end the war. Bannockburn did, however, transform the political and military situation. It secured Robert the Bruce's position within Scotland and greatly strengthened the legitimacy of his kingship.